Now it's time for Ask Dr. Love with Dr. Jamie Turndorf, the #1 relationship advice radio show in the U.S.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ask Dr. Love. It's my pleasure to be with you again this week. Are you grieving the bodily loss of a beloved pet? And if your answer is yes, today's show is for you. Today, I'm going to introduce you to how to use my transdimensional grief resolution method to reconnect and even talk with any pet that is in spirit. For those of you who are new to the show, I introduced the transdimensional grief resolution method in my second Hay House book, Love Never Dies, my memoir that shares the amazing true story of my spiritual reconnection with my beloved deceased husband, internationally renowned former Jesuit priest, Émile Jeanpin. Jean's over-the-top manifestations, often in front of witnesses, started as soon as he left his body. And his manifestations proved to me, the former atheist, that we don't die, we just leave our bodies. And therefore, I concluded our relationships are not meant to end with bodily death. So I created the transdimensional grief resolution method that enables anyone who's grieving to reconnect and make peace with the deceased. And that includes animals too. Communicating with loved ones in spirit is nothing more than the sending and the receiving of energetic signals. You know, Jean and I began experimenting with energetic communication when he was still in a body. Jean and I conducted a lot of observational experiments, and we concluded that animals understand and respond to my communications because I'm able to attune to their frequency and transmit brain waves they're able to process. I'll give you an example. One day, Jean and I visited a park in Connecticut called Bartholomew's Cobble. It's an outdoor Connecticut park featuring tiny little wildflowers that cascade down the rocks and the walls and boulders. Magical place. When we arrived, we were alone at the park and the woods were silent. And I said to Jean, listen, I'm going to call the birds to us, species by species. And he looked at me like, yeah, right, Jamie. And then I sang, little titmouse, little titmouse. And in a few seconds, a titmouse appeared on the branch right above our heads. And it tweeted hello in its hoarse, raspy voice. Jean was totally flabbergasted. Then I called the chickadee. And in a couple of seconds, a chickadee appeared and sat on the branch above us and went, chickadee, chickadee, dee, dee. And then I called a cardinal. And in no time, a beautiful apricot-colored female materialized right in front of us. Well, Jean was totally astonished. And he and I concluded that while these creatures don't know the names of their respective species, they understand on an energetic level when I call out to each of them. Now, something similar happened one Easter week when I saw a cage in which there were 3 little bunnies, a white one, a yellow one, and a black one. And without using any hand gestures, I said, Jean, look, I'm going to call the bunnies over by color. And I started with the yellow bunny. And I said, hop over here, yellow bunny, and kiss my cheek. The yellow one did. Then I told the black one to come and kiss me. And he came along and kissed my cheek. And then I asked the white one to come, and he did. And Jean was really shocked. And, you know, recently, a rabbit was sitting beside me in the backyard. And I said to the rabbit, I love you. And the rabbit wiggled his little mouth 3 times, I love you, repeating the words that I had spoken. One summer, when Jean and I were at the Nice airport on the French Riviera, I saw a big aquarium. And I walked up to it and I said, look, I'm going to designate a fish out of the thousands in the aquarium. And I'm going to ask that fish to come over and snuggle next to my cheek. Again, no hand gestures. And it came. And then right before our final vacation together, we visited a tavern in Connecticut called the Silvermine Tavern. It's an old inn high above a waterfall. And when I arrived, Jean went to take a nap and I took a walk in a wooded area that was beyond the stream and a little bridge. And soon a male and a female cardinal appeared. And the 2 birds were chirping excitedly and dancing at my feet and wiggling their beaks once to say hi or twice for hello. And they mimicked the sound of my voice when I said hi. And they stayed with me for more than an hour, even after it had grown dark. They just wouldn't leave. So I finally said, look, it's not safe for you to stay up any longer. I'm going to give you both names, Candi for the girl and Chuck for the boy. And I promise I'm going to come back tomorrow. And when I do, I'm going to call your names and then fly back to me. I'm going to bring Jean so I can have him meet you. They flew away. And the next day, I asked Jean to come back, and we walked to the same spot. We crossed the stream, and I was standing exactly where I had been the day before. And I said, Candi and Chuck, I'm back. Come to me. And in the distance, very far away, I heard the Cardinals' flight song. It took a few minutes for them to return from where they were, but they came to me. And Jean was just blown away. And during one of our last vacations in France, Jean and I saw a brace of ducks. And I said aloud in English, you know, I've never spoken to ducks before, but if you understand me, open your bills once and say hi to me. And just like the cardinals in the woods had done, the ducks opened their bills once to imitate the way my mouth opened when I spoke to them. And several of them even mimicked the word hi with a guttural greeting. And Jean said, you know, because they're French ducks and they never heard English before, I think they understand because they're picking up energetic signals brain to brain. So to test that theory, I told Jean on another occasion, I'm going to silently tell the bird sitting next to me to wiggle his beak twice to say hello. And sure enough, I sent the silent thought and the bird did just what I requested. So connecting energetically and communicating energetically with animals or people really is a taste of heaven here on earth. It gives us a glimpse of how spirit beings communicate telepathically. I think of heaven as a great melting pot where spirits from all over the world are united as one family. And when the beings lived in human form, they spoke languages of their countries of origin, but in spirit form, energetic communication is the universal language. And so this has led me to believe that animals are actually more evolved than humans, since they can send and receive energetic communications as a matter of course. Think about how a robin knows exactly where to dig in order to find an earthworm. So clearly the worm is emitting some kind of energetic signals that the robin perceives. And birds know to flee a region even before our detection equipment registers an earthquake is about to occur. Seagulls fly well inland before a major storm, like a hurricane hits a coastal region. So communicating with animals in spirit is the same as communicating with humans in spirit, because spirit beings are pure energy. Their ability to communicate with us occurs through the sending and the receiving of energetic signals. And if you think about it, once in spirit form, there is no difference. Again, no difference between communicating with humans or animals. Bodily death is the great equalizer. Humans and animals can only communicate energetically as opposed to verbally. So the point is, energetic communication that we engage in with humans and animals who are living in the very same, who are living in a body, is the very same as energetic communication that we experience with our beloved pets or humans in spirit. So when you begin your communication with a pet in spirit, you need to be familiar with the ways that animals communicate. So remember, because animals tend to communicate non-verbally, you'll generally be communicating in non-verbal ways. That said, I just want to say as an aside, my little canary, Fluffy, and I communicated in a kind of symbolic verbal way. So canaries don't speak, but when he was still in his body, we developed a type of verbal sign language. I'd ask him a question and he would either peck my cheek once or open his beak once to say yes. And Jean and I used to take him out with us to dinner in the summer. And one night we were out on the porch at the Hamilton Inn in Millerton, New York. And I said to him, this restaurant's called the Hamilton, and take note of it so that when I ask you where you'd like to dine with us next time we go out, you'll know what the Hamilton is. And he looked around, he took note, his head moved all around. And I said, do you have it? And he opened his beak once and said yes. And then when we were going out to dine the next time, I listed off the names of the restaurant choices. And when I spoke the name of the place he wanted to go, he pecked my cheek once for yes. Every other restaurant that he didn't want to go to, he just sat still. So the point is, Even though an animal doesn't speak, our animals understand and can use energetic and symbolic means to respond to our verbal communications. Now, another way that animals communicate with us is through thought induction and mind melding. Thought induction and mind melding is often used to confirm their presence by providing visual images that contain distinguishing physical traits. They'll also induce images in your mind showing their specific habits or traits to confirm their identity and presence. Let me give you an example. I had a young patient named Darren, whose dog left his body suddenly. The next morning after his bodily departure, she came into the session and she was crying. And I asked her if she'd like me to help her reconnect with her dog. And she said, yes. Now, the first thing I saw was a small yellow dog. And I asked her, is that the dog who just left his body? No, she said. I thought, uh-oh, I'm losing it. But then she said that the dog that had just left his body was a chocolate lab. That dog instantly came through after the yellow dog, his ambassador, stepped aside. And I told her that the dog that stepped through now was showing me two huge, round, big puppy paws. She burst into tears and she said, my doggie who left his body last night had his two front paws cut off. Oh my goodness. He was showing us that he was restored in his spirit body, and we just cried from joy. But he was also distinguishing his presence by showing us my former missing paws are restored. And then I saw the yellow dog again, and the yellow dog showed me himself, and that he had a habit of putting his butt his nose in places it didn't belong, including the butt of other dogs. And she said that he used to do that. And then the yellow dog showed all kinds of other things, like the tongue lolling to the side and showing teeth that were white and fresh. And she said that dog used to have stinky breath. So the white and fresh teeth was this dog's way of saying, I'm restored in my spirit body. Also, in spirit, they'll give you images of what you did together and the things you used to enjoy and their habits. So this little yellow dog, I said, is giving you her paw and shaking paws. She said that my dog used to do that. And then she showed something red around her neck, like a ribbon. And she said she wore a red bandana collar. Now, here's another example for you. A Love Club group member, a patient of mine named Dawn, came into group weeping, and she said her dog left his body the night before. Now, I had never seen Dawn's dog, didn't know its name, but I suddenly saw the image of a prissy dog appear in my mind through thought induction. And I said, your doggie liked to dress up a lot. And Dawn said, yeah, she would choose the color of the collar and coat she wanted to wear on a given day. And I said, she likes to wear the color red. She showed that to me through an image, and Dawn confirmed red was her favorite color. And then I saw the most odd thing. She was standing on tips of her paws, twirling in a circle, wearing a tutu. And with that, Dawn slapped her thigh and she said, you did it, Jamie. I told my dog Trixie, if you see her as a ballerina, I will know that your spirit is here and you're with me. And Dawn went on to explain that when she adopted her dog and brought her home from the pound, the dog got up on her pointy toes and twirled around. And her best friend said, if you put a tutu on her, she'd be a ballerina. So I hope that this brief introduction that I've given you provides a sense of the various ways that you can reconnect and communicate with your beloved pets in spirit. And when we come back from the break, I have a really special treat for you. You're going to meet someone who's very dear to me, Candi. She's one of my certified transdimensional grief resolution method coaches. And I've mentioned her to you very often on the show. And last week, Candi's beloved cat, Killian, her soulmate, left his body suddenly. And I asked Candi to come on the show today to demonstrate how you can reconnect and communicate with your beloved pet in spirit. So let's take a brief break. And when we come back, you're going to meet my darling Candi and her beloved Killian. Be back in a moment.
Are you a business looking to expand across the USA? Ask Dr. Love broadcasts in 5 of the top 10 U.S. radio markets, reaching 40 million listeners, offering you a unique opportunity to reach out to almost every adult listening group for a surprisingly reasonable rate. Everyone is concerned about their relationships. There is no other radio relationship advice show presented anywhere else in the USA. By advertising on Ask Dr. Love, your company can reach an audience that no other show touches. Visit AskDrLove.com and fill out the contact form to get in on this tremendous opportunity. Fill out the contact form at AskDrLove.com right now and get all the details. Will it be your company that gets to take advantage and grow your business?
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-403-7120. That's 855-403-7120. Call 855-403-7120.
You're listening to Ask Dr. Love with Dr. Jamie Turndorf. If your heart is still hurting over the bodily loss of your loved one, the reason is simple. We're not meant to be separated from those we love, and reconnecting is the only way to end the grief. But reconnecting and staying connected requires guidance. As a gift to her listeners, Dr. Turndorf is offering a limited number of discounted grief relief sessions to help you reestablish a relationship with loved ones in spirit and resolve any unfinished issues. If you're ready to experience the healing and joy of reconnecting, visit drjamieturndorf.com/grief relief to schedule your session. But don't wait, space is limited. Visit drjamieturndorf.com/grief relief to find out more. And now, back to Dr. Turndorf.
Welcome back to Ask Dr. Love. We're talking about how to reconnect with your beloved pets in spirit. And I'm introducing you now to my dear Candi, my trans-dimensional grief resolution method coach. She's such a doll. Candi, are you able to hear?
I'm able to hear, Jamie. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. Candi, I mean, there's no way to describe the soul bond between you and Killian. I'm going to share a photo, may I?
Yes.
Because the photo gives some sense of, look at this. You are one soul. Killian, oh my goodness, you and Killian, I've never seen more bonded soul pair. Does the next photo show, or do you only see this photo of you and him?
Yeah, just seeing that one right now.
All right. So then what happens is I have to share again to show the next photo. Here's a photo of himself. Isn't that a marvelous photo?
A great photo.
Oh my goodness, how he poses.
Oh,
And
yeah.
here's one more I'm going to share, just so, because I just want everyone to feel how precious your bond is. This one. Did I show this one? I mean, I have a folder of you and Killian. So, and I periodically look at the two of you together, because just watching the two of you shows me what love is. I'm trying to figure, I'm having a bit of a tech problem right now, because I want to share a different photo, and it keeps showing the one of himself. I think that's very significant, don't you?
Oh,
that
yeah.
He will not allow me to share anything except now the one of himself, because he's leading the way.
Yeah.
He wants, when I asked you, would you come on and demonstrate how we reconnect with animals? He said yes before you did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And just now in the break when we were waiting, He not turned to me, but as if he were here, he asked me, "Do I look okay?"
He is got such
Yeah.
star quality, I swear. He's so beautiful. So what I had thought was, because I mean, you're in the deep end, and I know how you're in a perpetual, you began practicing
Yeah.
energetic communication with him before he left his body in the same way that Jean and I were doing it, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
And you started talking several months ago about, I think when I retire from teaching, I'm going to do this work, helping people reconnect to their pets in spirit. So just as Jean left his body in order to guide me to develop this method, Killian stepped out of his body saying, okay, now we're going to practice it and you're going to start doing it with me. What we've been, doing with training wheels while I was in a body.
Yep.
So, what I was thinking is, even though you're always in such communication with him, we can go through the process, and actually, I like people to use the transdermal magnesium because it raises the vibration.
Right.
A lot of times if you don't, especially when you're grieving, your vibration is so low that it's very hard to connect to loved ones in spirit because their vibration is higher. So the magnesium helps lift the vibration so you're not ships in the night. So why don't you put a little of the magnesium on you, and you guys know I don't sell it, I'm not a distributor, but I just recommend it, electromagnesium.com.au, and I send so many people, if you use Dr.Jamie as the discount code, they'll give you a discount. Yes, and most, you put it on your heart, your throat, you could also hit your third eye. Why not?
Yeah.
And then what we're going to do now is we're going to do the meditation for making contact, where I'll put you in a trance, and everyone who's with us in the studio audience, feel free to come into the trance with us, because you will probably end up getting messages from Killian as well, and or your loved ones in spirit. So close your eyes.
He's talking to me already.
Of course. He's like, wait a minute. I just saw Candi. I saw him say, could I have the mic, please? He's hilarious. He wants the mic.
Oh, yes, he does.
I'm not kidding you. He would not allow me to share anything but his portrait. After that, it was like, you got the point now. It's himself.
It's, Jamie, on my end, it kept coming across as the photo of the two of us, not him. I was seeing a different repeat photo.
But he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't let me share anything but on my side anyway. So, all right, let's do our meditation. Now, because I'm terrestrial radio, Candi, I have to take a break. And in the event that the timing works, that we are in the middle of the dialogue or we're just starting it, just keep your eyes closed, and everybody who's in studio watching and listening, just keep your eyes closed. We'll come through the break and then we'll just resume. Okay?
Right.
All right. So close your eyes and now take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. On the next inhalation, I want you to feel the warm golden light of spirit coming in through your crown chakra. And as you exhale, I want you to feel that warm golden light washing down over your head and your face, down your neck and your throat, down your chest and your upper back, down your arms and out your fingers. Now feel that warm golden light coming down over your stomach and your mid-back, your groin and your low back, and down the front of your legs and the back of your legs, and down your knees, shins, calves, ankles, feet and toes. If you sense any area of the body resisting the flow, just let your inhaling breath bring the warm golden light into that area of constriction. And then let your exhaling breath flush out any tension or toxicity. See the breath as having eyes with the power to penetrate down into your blood, your organs, your cells, all the way down into your DNA. Keep breathing and sinking, feeling those muscles turning to taffy, melting in the summer sun. And now feel yourself dropping lower and lower, as if you're in an elevator, dropping lower and lower down the elevator shaft. Or in a well bucket, dropping lower and lower down the well. Take as much time as you need to feel fully relaxed. And when you do, just say, okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's imagine you and I and all of our beloved friends are strolling together along the bank of a stream. The sky is a perfect blue dome, and songbirds and butterflies accompany our stroll, and a gentle breeze ruffles the lush emerald grass. And in the distance, we see a footbridge crossing the stream, and together we effortlessly teleport over that footbridge, and we land on the near shore of a beautiful lake. Its surface is smooth as glass and shimmers like liquid silver. And as we gaze upon the lake to the far shore, we see Killian and all of our loved ones in spirit, standing arms and paws and wings outstretched, sending us the message energetically, now's the time to reconnect. So together as one, we all teleport over the lake to the far shore, and we stand in front of our Killian and Jean and all of our loved ones. And now, Candi, make a nice breath in and make a first statement out loud to him. And let's see what comes back.
Well, buddy, this is different than what we normally do, but I'm so happy we're doing it, even though I'm scared.
Tell him why you're scared. Tell me, tell everyone.
It's so silly. I'm scared because it's new. It's new.
This way of dialoguing with him in the spirit form is new. You're used to dialoguing with him energetically and audibly in a body. So this is a new experience for you.
Yes and no.
So what's new?
It's new that I'm so very comfortable with it, if that makes any sense.
I want to hear more. Say a little more.
I think there's a fear that people will think I'm crazy. There's a bit of
You know what? If they can't take a joke, I can't say the word on terrestrial, right?
I know exactly what you're thinking.
Because you read me energetically. What other people think has no bearing on anything, right? All that matters is love and connecting in love. And when I began reconnecting with Jean, my uncle said, Jamie's become psychotic. So anybody, I understand everyone's on a different path, right? And I have seen so many people who didn't believe that spirit lives on, and then they leave their bodies and they say, oh, I was wrong. Oops, I'm sorry. I was so steadfast in, calling you crazy or not believing. So everyone's in a different phase in the journey. So if someone's really in a phase of, I don't believe it, you're crazy, well, that's what they're thinking. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go dive deeper into this crazy little thing we call love.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. With your insurance, you may qualify to get a new CGM right now at little or no cost to you. By wearing a small remote device, you can immediately reduce the painful finger sticks. They're accurate, easy to use, and help you make better diabetes treatment decisions. If you take insulin 3 or more times a day or use an insulin pump, I want you to call right now and take advantage of our free shipping offer.
Are you a business looking to expand across the USA? Ask Dr. Love broadcasts in 5 of the top 10 U.S. radio markets, reaching 40 million listeners, offering you a unique opportunity to reach out to almost every adult listening group for a surprisingly reasonable rate. Everyone is concerned about their relationships. There is no other radio relationship advice show presented anywhere else in the USA. By advertising on Ask Dr. Love, your company can reach an audience that no other show touches. Visit AskDrLove.com and fill out the contact form to get in on this tremendous opportunity. Fill out the contact form at AskDrLove.com right now and get all the details. Will it be your company that gets to take advantage and grow your business?
Has your heater busted, computer crashed, appliance broken? Then you need ARW Home.
Life's been pretty worry-free since I got coverage with ARW Home. Don't waste thousands of dollars on air conditioning, appliance repair, and replacements. Save that money with ARW Home. Protection plans that cover household appliances, systems, and electronics.
My air conditioning broke on a Sunday. I called ARW and they came out and fixed it right away.
Get your free quote today. Call or go to arwhome.com now.
You're listening to Ask Dr. Love with Dr. Jamie Turndorf. If your heart is still hurting over the bodily loss of your loved one, the reason is simple. We're not meant to be separated from those we love, and reconnecting is the only way to end the grief. But reconnecting and staying connected requires guidance. As a gift to her listeners, Dr. Turndorf is offering a limited number of discounted grief relief sessions to help you reestablish a relationship with loved ones in spirit and resolve any unfinished issues. If you're ready to experience the healing and joy of reconnecting, visit drjamieturndorf.com/grief relief to schedule your session. But don't wait, space is limited. Visit drjamieturndorf.com/grief relief to find out more. And now, back to Dr. Turndorf.
Welcome back to Ask Dr. Love. We're beginning a dialogue with Killian, who's in spirit. And Candi, the last thing you said was that you were a bit worried that people would judge you or think you're crazy. Do you feel like you've gotten past that now? Have we moved past that, or is there more we need to say?
There is a little bit of fear that I will hold back fully celebrating my connection with him. If that makes sense.
Because why?
Not everyone's ready for this.
So let's not worry about what others are ready for. Let's just focus on what you and Killian are ready for.
I'm laughing because he's commenting already.
Right? Because the bottom line is you are demonstrating the pinnacle of what is possible in terms of love.
Absolutely.
And connection. So we don't want to truncate or eclipse what is possible. In the same way that I tell my story of me and Jean, right? Let our love shine like a torch that lights the path for others.
Mhm.
Can you be free now?
Here? Yes.
Go for it. So take a nice breath in and tell us what Killian was saying regarding holding back.
He said, that's crazy, Mom.
It's good when he calls you out, right?
He said, other humans are crazy,
Right.
but you're not.
The animals are our teachers. Killian is our teacher. You know, you adopted him from a pet shelter and wrote a book about Killian and all that you've learned from Killian. And now he continues to be your guide. So take another breath in and make another statement to Killian.
I just love that you are here and you've been here every moment since I opened the door years ago, but also I love that you've been here since I accepted that you were out of your body. The moment I accepted that you were out of your body, you just showed up, buddy.
Tell him what you're feeling.
Oh, he knows, but I'll say it anyway.
Yes, say it out loud. It's always wonderful when you're dialoguing.
I love you so much, buddy. You are my forever and for always. And that's 4 with an FUR.
And F, did you say FUR?
Forever. Yes.
For,
And for always.
that's adorable.
He
Take
said,
a breath in. Take a breath in. See what's coming back, because it could be a thought, right? A picture, a feeling. What he often sends words to you. What are you getting?
He's almost overlapping me, Jamie. I'm at the point where I don't even need to breathe. I can hear him, if that makes any sense.
Okay, so then don't even delay, because you know when people begin doing this, takes a little moment, but you're so deep in the deep end. Just then say what you're hearing or what you're sensing.
You just said she's talking over me.
Himself. He wants to be the star of the show.
Killian, you need to be polite because it is Dr. Jamie's show.
No, it's Killian's show. I'm talking over him. What else do you want to tell us, Killian?
I just want Dr. Jamie to know how much I love my mom.
Oh,
she is my everything. You are my everything, Mom.
Yeah. And you know, he's been showing that the things that held him back from loving you fully have been lifted from him since he left a body, because even though he was really more like a human in a fur costume, he was in a cat's body. He didn't like to be on your lap. He couldn't stand being confined and held. He'd go limp and boneless. But since he left his body, and I spoke to you on the phone right the day of, I saw him, you know, letting it be known, I'm not afraid now to be on your lap. You can't smother me or contain me anymore. All those inhibitions that bothered me, he shed so that he can be more loving too. You feel that?
Oh, absolutely.
You feel it?
Absolutely. All the time.
In fact, you're experiencing, I think, what I've described, like you're even closer now.
Yes, there is no other way to describe it. He was always a part of me, but now he's really truly a part of me.
Yeah, he's not contained by the physical vessel, so his soul essence is in you.
There's no separation.
So your conversations are more instantaneous because it's like he's the thought in your head.
Oh, this morning he wants yeah, that's funny. He wants me to share something. This morning I was texting with my beloved friend Kip, and I was expressing that I was concerned, wouldn't know what to do, and Kip said, "Oh, it's Jamie, just talk to her, and just, you know, it'll be organic." And Killian said, "Just go with the flow, Mama." So as I am texting to Kip, that statement, I'm busy typing it out. I hear him say, rock and roll. I was like, how is that, buddy?
Rock and roll. I think he was tuning in to Bob, my engineer, who's has a background as a rock and roll recording artist.
Oh,
He was aware that
Oh
my
my
rock and roll
God.
engineer is here to rock and roll with you.
Oh my God,
Make you
yeah.
feel comfortable, which Bob
Yeah.
did before we went on
Yeah.
air. Oh my. Now, do you realize that? That shows
Yeah.
how futures already happened. Killian knew he was a rock and roll artist. That is astounding.
That's not something I say frequently, but I just heard it. Rock and roll.
But I never heard anything like that. But that is astounding. That's a very very subtle validation of his presence and so many other layers. The futures happened. He knew Bob would be here to support you too. Want to say something else to Killian now before we go to break? We have 1 minute. And so maybe we could have a little something before we go to break and come back to the Killian show.
I'm killed. Is there anything that you want me to know that I'm not picking up on that maybe Dr. Jamie can pick up on?
Huh. So, Candi, did you see, because what he showed me was a gesture and it wasn't a word, it was a gesture. Did you pick up because he showed me something that was he took his 2 paws and he held your face.
Oh.
One paw on one side and one on the other, like in a most precious embrace. That's what I saw. And I don't believe he did that when he was in a body. No, it's again, the message that I keep getting from him is I'm freer now than ever to love you.
Yes.
That's the message. Let's stay with that message for a moment, and we'll be back after this short break.
Are you a business looking to expand across the USA? Ask Dr. Love broadcasts in 5 of the top 10 U.S. radio markets, reaching 40 million listeners, offering you a unique opportunity to reach out to almost every adult listening group for a surprisingly reasonable rate. Everyone is concerned about their relationships. There is no other radio relationship advice show presented anywhere else in the USA. By advertising on Ask Dr. Love, your company can reach an audience that no other show touches. Visit AskDrLove.com and fill out the contact form to get in on this tremendous opportunity. Fill out the contact form at AskDrLove.com right now and get all the details. Will it be your company that gets to take advantage and grow your business? You're listening to Ask Dr. Love with Dr. Jamie Turndorf. If your heart is still hurting over the bodily loss of your loved one, the reason is simple. We're not meant to be separated from those we love, and reconnecting is the only way to end the grief. But reconnecting and staying connected requires guidance. As a gift to her listeners, Dr. Turndorf is offering a limited number of discounted grief relief sessions to help you reestablish a relationship with loved ones in spirit and resolve any unfinished issues. If you're ready to experience the healing and joy of reconnecting, visit drjamieturndorf.com/grief relief to schedule your session. But don't wait, space is limited. Visit drjamieturndorf.com/grief relief to find out more. And now, back to Dr. Turndorf.
Welcome back to Ask Dr. Love. I'm Dr. Jamie Turndorf. I am talking with my beloved coach, Candi, and her soulmate, Killian, who left its body on Saturday. And Candi, during the break, I got a message from Dee, who's in the studio audience. She said that, oh my goodness, I'm there with you all, and my dog Rue joined us. Aw. And right before your cat said, I'm freer to love you, Rue said, I'm without pain now and free to love you. Oh, right before I heard Killian say it, she heard her animal say it. Here, would it be okay if we bring Dee in audibly, Candi?
Sure.
All right, let's bring Dee in because I think she wanted to say something.
Hi,
Dee?
Jimmy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm astounded because I was holding my dog and she said to me, you don't check in often with me. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sad when I miss you, when I think of you, I'm sad. And she said, but I'm without pain now. I'm freer to love you. And I almost started crying. And then you said what you said about her cat, and it was almost verbatim.
Isn't that
So
magnificent?
I got full body chills.
Oh, thank you for sharing that, Dee.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So Candi, let's continue with Killian. Keep your eyes closed if you would like, and take a nice breath in again. You know, spirit's born on the breath, which is why I always use the breath. And make another statement out loud to him.
Thank you for sharing or resharing what you just did with me during the break. And he'd like me to tell you what he just shared with me during the break.
Oh, yeah.
First, he showed me an image of the two of us. I was almost always, often is the word, very often, I would.
Oh, Candi! 2 cardinals! They just landed. I didn't get the camera fast enough. I'm so sorry I interrupted, because I said I have a feeling that the male and the female cardinal would arrive today, and just now the male and the female landed right next to me. Did you hear them chirp? I'm so sorry.
I did.
Oh, sorry. So what did he say during the break?
He first reminded me of the image of how I would so very often, I would be the mama cat. He would be curled up on the couch or wherever, and I would kind of drape myself over him and rub his ears and face with my face like I was the mama cat. And he's showing me now that it's the reverse.
Oh,
He is surrounding me, and I guess he's the mama cat now.
oh, that is such a beautiful communication, because that is so true. Our loved ones in spirit, animals and human, really switch into a role of being the healing figures for us, to reparent us, to guide us, to heal us. And he is showing you that. I'm switching into that role to help you, to watch over you.
And the idea that he's bigger than me now.
That fits, doesn't it, with the paws holding your face? Like, you know, it's like a human gesture. I have paws that can hold your face. Tremendous love.
Yeah.
Tell him what you're feeling right now.
So much love. And I think it's almost painful, because he's free to just unlimited unconditional love, and that's hard for some of us humans, because
Can you say more why it's painful?
It's
tell him and tell me, you know, if you could say it, you know what I mean, rather than just.
Right. I did tell him this when he was in a body, but I'll tell him now that the love he is able to give me
The
First
love
of
you're
all-
able to give me, tell him.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Mom. The love that you give me, Killian, the love that you have for me is so big that my heart can't always hold it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But it's because I never received that when I was little.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And I haven't exactly received it from other humans. And you are the only one capable of this much love.
Humans is how he says human. Humans. He is capable of love as big as the universe, as big as eternity. And it is so very sensitive on your part to describe the fact that we often have a resistance to receiving that level of love.
Yes.
Because especially if we didn't grow up with it, we don't even have like a receptor for receiving it all. And so Killian is actually showing you and us. It's the word that keeps coming to me is your heart is being tenderized. So to allow your heart to expand, to receive more love. Because you can't have enough. There can't be enough love to receive or enough love to give. I remember once Sean and I went on an outing, Candi, and I felt my heart swelling with so much love, like you're describing. I couldn't contain it all.
Yeah.
And I said, Sean, what am I going to do? The amount of love that I feel for you is so big. I don't know what to do. And he said, well, give some of it to me. It's like, I have to have some place to put it.
Yep.
And Killian is your place to put it, and your students and me and everyone who's watching and listening is receiving your love too.
Yeah, he just said you're going to receive it whether you want to or not. Because I'm not going anywhere.
It's wonderful. Can you believe what a magically flowing time we've had? We only have 2 minutes left. Can you believe it?
Sure.
I'm wondering if anyone in the studio has anything that he or she wishes to say or ask or a comment. If, I didn't want to not acknowledge everyone who's here sharing with us. If you have anything that you want to say, you could raise your hand. We'll make you audible. If not, that's fine too. We're with you. We're glad to see you in studio. In the beginning, it was so amazing. You were afraid, Candi, to have anyone in studio. And the people who are in studio came in after the show began. So it was like it was arranged so that you would not be uncomfortable. And then by the time we were already off and running, then I realized they were all here. How are you feeling now, Candi?
Good. I have Killian wants me to say a message for everybody here.
Please.
Just to anyone who is grieving, be mindful that the tears you're feeling might not actually be sad. They just may be the love that's pouring in.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? Thank you for reminding that, because it's your heart overflowing into your eyes.
Yeah.
Candi, I can't believe we're at the end of the show. It is incredible how fast it went with you and Killian. And I saw you épanoui, which is French for a rose that blossoms. I saw you épanoui, from being afraid and worried into the full heart of love. Someone in studio said, thank you, Candi.
Oh, thank you. You're all welcome.
And we're getting a glimpse now of how you and Killian are going to go on to help other people heal their hearts that are grieving, help them reconnect with pets in spirit. So Candi, thank you so much. And of course, the door is always open for you and Killian. Killian's, is this thing on? He wants to come back.
Yes, he does.
Thank you again. See you next time all on Ask Dr. Love.
You've been listening to Ask Dr. Love with Dr. Jamie Turndorf. Sign up for Dr. Jamie's newsletter at askdrlove.com and receive her meditation audio that will guide you to open your heart and chill out during these stressful times.